This is Robert Murdelacci, the MindShare Learning Report, Canada's Learning and Technology e-magazine. And welcome to this week in EdTech MindShareTV live podcast from the Education Research and Development Institute here in Palm Springs. And I'm honored to have joined me for a MindShare Learning moment, Salvo, who's the founder of Words Live, award-winning music-based literacy app here and based in Washington, D.C. And it was fortuitous for us to connect because we do have some connections to Toronto.
This is true. Our Toronto connection. I'm a Rotman grad. I had 2 fine years, University of Toronto. Got to live there just under 3 years. One of my favorite cities.
Well, and it's also coincidental that he goes by Gil, and we'll be interviewing Gil Moore, who's launching the music app that we're going to put you in touch with for Metalworks, and former world-renowned band drummer of Triumph. So yep. You're in good company, and you also discovered that someone else has done some production in his studio. That would be none other than the world-famous
Drizzy Drake.
That's right. So talk to me about the inspiration behind your app, which is so cool. And you can hold it up and show our audience what that actually, give them a feel of what that looks like.
And so Words Live is a platform that teaches literacy skills through song lyrics. And so you're seeing a lesson bank here. You'll notice that they're discrete learning objectives. Think topic sentence of a paragraph. Think figurative language. Think subject-verb agreement. But you can teach all those skills through song lyrics, through the evaluation of song lyrics. Good teachers kind of do this already, but what we want to do is make it really easy for any and every teacher to do it for all the kids that need it. And so the application will take the songs that kids listen to, it'll mine the lyrics, it'll match it to a syllabus, and when there's a connection from an objective perspective, it'll customize lessons for them in real time, constantly on demand, using the music they already listened to.
And so you're really democratizing learning through music for students and teachers and being where the kids are at.
Yes. So that's the secret sauce of education. Meet the kids where they're at, use what they're bringing into the classroom, because that's A, how you get them engaged, but then B, how you can get their attention long enough to really drill in those learning objectives. So that's the goal, is to make that process easy and systemic.
And congratulations, you were award-winning at your early phase.
We did. So we won the Milk and Pen grand prize winners of the Milk and Pen business competition. That's out of the University of Pennsylvania. It just happened this past October. So I guess we're reigning champs or something, what do you want to call it? Shout out to Mr. John Gamba, entrepreneur in residence at University of Pennsylvania. It was tough competition, but it was a fantastic experience.
Awesome. That's a real feather in your cap for sure. Your Rotman experience, my son happens to be a fellow graduate of Rotman. You did your MBA there. How did you discover that? And talk to me about your Toronto experience.
So funny story, and I have to shout out Aphrodite Cruz for this. University of Toronto came to Washington, D.C., where I was, also where I'm from, on a recruitment tour, and they were recruiting for the new MBA class. I hadn't heard of the Rotman School. I was trying to decide between Georgetown, Emory, and London School of Economics.
Great schools.
Good schools. I had decent scores. I figured I'd go somewhere good, right?
Yeah.
But Aphrodite Cruz sat me down and said, no, trust me. The faculty here is top-notch. Plus, the city's amazing. She invited me just to come up and spend a weekend in Toronto. That's when I fell in love with the city. I ended up going to an Usher concert. I got to meet Usher afterwards. That whole experience, I was on Bloor Street. I was partying. After that, I was like, I'm sold. This is the city for me.
Fantastic. So how did that impact the entrepreneur's mindset that you have?
It was actually there that I kind of figured what route I wanted to take. So when you're in B school, you kind of usually just like 2 lanes. You're doing the management consulting lane, or you're doing the investment banker lane. And for whatever reason, I just didn't fit in either of those. And I'd always wrestled with the idea of I want to start my own company. And I think I'm a creative for one. I think I can do this. And that kind of gave me the kahunas to really go after it and say, after this experience, I can do it. I've learned enough business now. I can do it.
Fantastic. And you actually have a music background?
Songwriting. Yeah.
Songwriting.
Sure do. Even as a teenager,
right.
I wrote locally, wrote for other acts. I performed myself. It's been a passion of mine since I was about 13 years old.
And you probably discovered my passion for music and my rendition of Rhinestone Cowboy. That seems to follow me every conference I go to. And
it seems to follow you, huh?
Well, it goes back to the Gong Show days back in high school. A proud graduate of the Toronto District School Board.
Yeah.
just down the street from Rotman, where I went to school, George Harvey.
Yeah.
And but we're here at ERDI. We are in Palm Springs. You don't see the palms in the background because it would interfere with our lighting, and we don't want to rub it in that we're in Palm Springs.
That's also true.
Because we've been indoors most of the time and working our butts off, haven't we?
And socializing outside. Working inside, but socializing outside.
But and we become fast friends. It's about the learning community, isn't it?
It is.
And we're here with superintendents from across the U.S., companies from across North America and around the world. We had a great contingent from Canada, thanks to the Canadian Trade Commissioner's Office from New York and LA that had a startup competition. Talk to me about the feedback from your panel of experts.
So this was an interesting experience for us. You know, when you get into a conference that has a lot of decision makers, superintendents, you actually want to be really careful not to sell too much or sell too hard.
Right.
So this was more about learning. And although I'm a solution provider, you know, obviously I want to partner with school districts. This was really about me taking a step back to learn what their challenges were and what they needed. And so my experience has been fantastic because by putting myself in a listening perspective, I really learned how to really be a better partner, over the course of 3 days. And so I feel very fortunate to have kind of gained some insight into what a solution provider should really be.
And what was some of the feedback that you got that might cause you to do a TSN turning point or shift gears a little bit?
Yeah, one of the main big takeaways was that the teachers are usually your best resource in. So although it's great to speak to the decision makers at the top, and yes, they can mandate that certain technologies and tools get used, it's really the teachers who can lobby and can advocate for you on the inside. Those implementations usually have more enduring, experiences in school districts. So we're going to really spend time going with the teachers and utilizing their experience and allow them to evangelize our products, evangelize our solutions into the district.
Well, that's great advice that other startups could take. And thank you for sharing that insight. We're not done yet here at the Education Research and Development Institute at Palm Springs. We got to get to another session. So
yes,
I'm grateful for your time.
Oh, thank you.
I'm looking forward to visiting us back in Toronto and getting you out to Metalworks and meeting the other Gil, Gil Moore, legendary drummer from the band Triumph. This is Robert Merdlacci, the MindShare Learning Report, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you again. Gil Salvo, the founder of World's Live, award-winning music-based literacy app, proud Rotman alumni. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.